All right, today we are going deep. We're doing a full forensic breakdown of the incredibly sophisticated and, frankly, predatory world of timeshare resale fraud. And look, this isn't just about some simple lie. It's a system, one that's been meticulously engineered to prey on one of our most powerful emotions, sheer desperation. We're going to deconstruct what's known as the exit ruse, and I promise you by the end of this, you'll have exactly what you need to spot the scam, stop the fraud, and protect your savings.
You know, this quote really just nails it. The scam we're pulling apart today, it doesn't kick off with the promise of a bright new future, but with the promise of an end. An end to the fees, an end to the obligations, an end to a financial weight you just don't want anymore. Scammers are always listening, and the loudest signal they're tuned into isn't greed. It's your intense desire to just get out. That feeling of desperation, that's their homing beacon.
So, to really understand the con, we first have to understand the environment that lets it grow. We need to talk about that immense pressure, both psychological and financial, that builds up over years, sometimes even decades, of owning a timeshare. Because it's this pressure that creates what fraudsters see as the perfect opening. Just imagine it for a second. Every single year, that maintenance fee bill shows up, and every single time, it's a little bit higher than it was last year. What started out as this exciting vacation idea has slowly morphed into a financial liability, a debt anchor that's just dragging you down. You've probably tried to sell it, maybe you've listed it, you might have even tried to give it away, but nothing, no takers. All you want is a clean break, a final exit. And it's this intense, emotionally charged desire for relief that fraudsters have learned to weaponize with absolutely chilling efficiency. And the stakes here, they are incredibly high. We're not talking about a few $100s here and there. The average financial loss, if you look at the data from the Federal Trade Commission and Consumer Reports, is a staggering $30,000. And this money is just pulled out of you, piece by piece, through a whole series of escalating fees and taxes. All of it comes with this solemn promise that you'll get it all back at closing. But here's the thing, there is no closing. For so many people, this is a life savings level event. It can hollow out a retirement account and leave you not only stuck with the timeshare, but also with this profound sense of violation. So, how do they actually pull this off?
Well, a scam of this size isn't built on just one simple lie. They use a clinical, almost corporate-style process. It's like a virtual assembly line designed for one thing and one thing only: getting your money. This isn't just a con, it's a sophisticated operation. Their method is just brilliantly deceptive. First, they get their hands on owners' lists, so they know exactly who to call, what you own, and where it is. Then comes the corporate hook. A really professional, confident-sounding broker calls you, not with some lowball offer, but with a fantastic one. They'll say some big corporation needs your unit for their executives and is willing to pay top dollar, often even more than you originally paid. This is where the stair-step extraction begins. They'll say a minor upfront fee is needed, maybe for a foreign tax or a title transfer. Once you pay that, another, slightly larger fee pops up with an equally plausible excuse. Every payment you make just deepens your commitment both psychologically and financially, making it that much harder to walk away. And then finally, when your bank account is empty or you start asking for real proof, they do the vanishing act. The phone numbers go dead, the slick website disappears, and they are just gone.
So, how do they make all these escalating fees sound so believable? They use a technique called boiler room orchestration. And honestly, it's pure administrative theater. You're not just talking to one broker. A few days after you agree to the sale, you might get a call from a so-called escrow officer, and then maybe someone claiming to be a Mexican government official to verify a tax payment. But in reality, it's often just a few people sitting in the same room, passing the phone around, using different scripts and different job titles to build this whole ecosystem of authority that is completely fake. They're building a fortress of credibility around a foundation of lies.
Now, knowing the steps of the scam is one thing, but to really get a handle on its power, we have to look at why it works so incredibly well. You see, this ruse isn't just designed to trick your wallet. It's meticulously crafted to hijack the very wiring of your brain.
This slide shows the internal conflict perfectly. We all basically have two modes of thinking. There's our fast, intuitive, emotional brain, and then there's our slow, deliberate, analytical brain. Scammers are absolute masters at targeting your emotional brain. That promise of a guaranteed exit, it triggers this powerful feeling of relief. Psychologists actually call it the relief heuristic. And that sudden rush of joy and hope just shouts down your analytical brain. So while one part of your mind might be quietly asking, wait, why are we wiring money to Mexico? Or I don't really understand these legal terms, the other part is already celebrating the sale. The scammers do this on purpose. They create this cognitive overload with fake documents and jargon just to keep your analytical brain completely on the sidelines. And they lay these very specific psychological traps for you. Loss aversion is the big one. You already feel like you've lost so much money on maintenance fees over the years, right? So the idea of making it all back makes you willing to risk just a little bit more to lock down the deal. We've talked about the relief heuristic. Then there's expertise submission. They use all these complex terms about foreign taxes or title insurance because they know most of us will feel like we aren't qualified to question an expert. And finally, reciprocity pressure. The broker makes themselves out to be your friendly advocate, the person who's fighting for you. This makes you feel obligated, and it becomes incredibly hard to say no when they call asking for just one more fee.
Okay, so we've dissected the anatomy of the scam and we've looked at the psychology they exploit. Now let's switch gears from analysis to action. Let's talk about how to build an absolutely unbreakable shield against this kind of fraud. It's time to stop being a potential target and start being a forensic auditor of your own financial life.
So let's put you right in the driver's seat. The call comes in. The offer is amazing. $30,000 for a timeshare you know is basically worthless on the resale market. It sounds way too good to be true. So how do you respond? What are the immediate non-negotiable steps you take to build that shield and completely turn the tables on them? This checklist right here, this is your defense protocol, and you follow it without any exceptions. Rule number 1, the absolute golden rule, is you never pay an upfront fee to sell something. Legitimate real estate deals take fees from the sale proceeds, not out of your personal bank account. Second, hang up with the broker, find the official owner's services number for your resort on an old bill, and call them directly. Ask about their deedback or exit programs. Third, demand that any closing happens through a US-based licensed title or escrow company that you choose and that you can verify independently. Fourth, ask for their company's real estate license number and check its status with the state commission. And here's a great tech tip. Do a WHOIS domain audit on their website. Scammers use brand new pop-up websites that are often just a few weeks old. A real company will have a history.
All right, you need a weapon, a kill switch. This sentence right here on your screen, that is your weapon. Memorize it, practice it. The second anyone asks you for an upfront fee, you calmly and firmly state this. I only authorize payments through a US-based licensed title company where all fees are deducted from the sale proceeds at closing. A legitimate agent will hear that and think, yep, standard procedure. A scammer, oh, they'll have a dozen reasons why that's just not possible in this unique situation. That is your signal. That is your giant flashing red light. That's when you hang up the phone. So we've covered the mechanics, the psychology, and the defense. But if you walk away from this explainer remembering only one thing, let it be this one single unbreakable principle. This is the core idea that will protect you above everything else. This is it. If I have to pay to sell it, I'm being sold. Just let that sink in for a second. To recap everything, what we've analyzed here is timeshare resale fraud. It operates through a system of advanced fee escalation, that step-by-step process of pulling money from you. It works by exploiting the psychology of loss aversion, your deep desire to recover all those past costs. And your entire defense, your shield, is built on the protective principle of no upfront payments. The moment money is asked to flow from your account before a sale is final, the transaction is no longer a sale, it's a heist. By holding firm to this one simple, powerful idea, you can dismantle the entire timeshare exit ruse before it even gets off the ground.